Shabbat Shalom, everybody, my people, and you're welcome to the Shabbat of this morning. The Parashat I was talking about this morning is Parashat Noach, and I give you a little bit of subtitle. And the subtitle of the Parashat of this morning is a word of advice. A word of advice. I repeat again. A word of advice. That is what I subtitled the Parashat of this morning. Information is either asked for or provided for from another. At times, this information is called advice. Some people are very careful about giving advice for fear it might come back to them as a blame for something going wrong, causing a bad decision to be made. I recall one of my professors in college advising us never to give advice, at least in the therapy setting. When I was studying nursing, they don't give advice in the therapy setting. Why? Because someone who is completely depressed, right? They might interpret that advice maybe that is not what you actually mean in your, understand my point? In your heart, maybe you mean something different, but because that person is completely depressed, but misinterpret that advice and go and do it, and it becomes negative, and so, he is the one that gave the advice. Because I have seen many times some people, they write me in messages, right, on Facebook or on our line, on our website. They say, Rabbi, we heard that you said this. I said, okay, do you understand why I said that? You know, because people tend to cut your word short, especially the best people are like what? Journalists. Right? I'm telling you, if you want to go to a journalist, I tell you, be very, very ready. Take your own tape, because the journalists, they will cut everything, cut, and they say this is what you said, which is not what you are saying. Right? Tell them this is the full version of the conversation. Let the whole world understand the full conversation that you had about them, because they will cut it and say, because they want to use it to benefit themselves, not you. So this is what my professor is saying. He said it's good to give advice, but don't give advice in the therapy session, because someone who is completely already, his mind is somewhere else, I try to give him an advice, and that person misinterprets your word, then it becomes a trouble. Then you are going to be guilty. Say, but this is not what you mean. Actually, you are trying to give a good advice, but the person misinterpreted it, and it becomes something else. Perhaps they feel it is the way. Yet there are others who strive on giving advice, especially unsolicited advice. Perhaps they feel it is the way to pay their debt to society by imparting their wisdom to whomever and whenever. If I were to give advice on this subject, I would have to say that not only should a person give good advice when asked, but also to proffer advice when it will, without question, benefit the receiver of this information. There is a saying that information is what is power, right? When you have an information, you can use that information either positive or negative. It depends on what you want. Torah is knowledge. Torah is information. Torah is advice. You know, God told Adam, there is a tree in the middle of the garden. Don't eat it. Is it for God? No. It's for you. For your own good. Not for him. So please don't eat it, because if you eat it, it's going to give you stomach trouble. Forget about this, my papa. You know, you are too old. Now we are in the 24th century. I have Google, I have iPhone, I have Ice Flash, I have Ice this, I have that. Everything is nice for me. I can go and take it, because there are these phrases. What's the name of the pharmaceutical company? Pfizer. Okay, Pfizer has given us antidote. No problem. Pfizer will solve the problem. I'll go and take the fruit and I will eat. Good luck. If you eat it, if you have the stomach trouble, don't run back to your mama. Don't run back to your papa and say, Papa, I have a stomach trouble. Your papa has told you beforehand, don't eat it, it's not good for you. It's not for your papa. No. He's just giving you his own idea because he knows the reason why. Because he was here before you. He knows that tree perfectly well before you, and he's telling you this tree is not good for you, or the fruit of this tree is not good for you. The same thing here. It's an advice. God is telling Adam a kind of advice. It's not good for you. Don't hear it. If you like, you read it. If I don't like, it's no problem. When the consequence comes, don't run back and be crying and say, this is what is happening to me. An integral piece of many relationships is sharing information between each other. This is particularly true in a teaching and educational setting. Perhaps the most significant situation of teaching is raising a child. The method of education varies and changes according to the maturity and intelligence of the student or the child. In this case, a student in this case may also be a child or anyone to whom we are imparting knowledge or information, right? So, education is not just about feeding facts and information. Meaningful learning allows time for the student to develop critical thinking skill, enabling him or her to figure out the information by himself. You see, that is knowledge. That is information. You see, you don't tell like some of us here. I will say, okay, Rabbi, I need an advice. And when you ask me an advice, I don't give you advice, yes or no. You become offended. Rabbi, I want to know what you think. No, it's not about what I think. I want to find out the answer yourself. But in my advice, the answer is there. But I want you to figure it out. I don't want you to give you the answer. It's yes or no. No, that is too simple. Then how are you going to do what? How are you going to grow? If I only give you yes or no answer. No. In nursing, they tell us don't ask yes or no question. Always ask open-ended question. That is it. Get information from your what? From your patient. The patient will give you a lot of information. Seek that information, take it, and write it down. And then that will help you to be able to understand what is going on with the patient. The same thing here. No different. I cannot be giving you yes or no answer every time. Then how are you going to grow? Then you just, see what my rabbi said. It doesn't make sense. What did you say? What are you saying? What do you want to understand? You have to figure it out yourself. But I will say this is what I think. I'm not telling you yes or no. This is what I think. This is what I think. But in what I think, the answer is there. You just have to figure it out. The same thing God is doing with us as His children. God won't give us yes or no answer. No. He will tell us, okay, my children, this is what I think. But ultimately, the decision belongs to you to decide. He said, I've given you life or death. But I think you should choose life because life is good. But if you don't like it, you can choose the life. It's your choice. But I think life is good. Choose life. You see? God gives us advice. It's not a command. It's not advice. If you like, you do it. If you like, you don't do it. But don't come back at the end and start crying. Always remember that. Okay. So, many high-level educators only lectures and do not allow or make room for self-analyzation. Anyone who has studied Hebrew laws recognizes different levels of fulfilling the mitzvah. At times, applying the basic rule and at other times, adding an additional subjection. I would like to compare those added subjections as advice, not only as an opinion, but as strongly recommended. There are many examples of this type of subjection which in the end may save a person from error, from doing a mistake. In the university, your professor will not come and tell you yes or no question. No. In your college, your professor will not come and tell you, professor, please, can you tell me what is 2 plus 2? Your professor, I'm just giving an example. Your professor will say, hey, your answer is 4. No. Your professor, okay, I think if you add it and this, you go ask the question by yourself. your project, the professor, what they do? They lecture you, right? They give you some information here, from there, they pick it from different angles, right? And they bring it together and give you those lectures. And then, what are they asking you? They're asking you now to go and figure out the fact by yourself. And when the exam comes, they give you exam. Then, from the research that you have researched, you are able to do what? To answer the question in the what? In the exam. God always examines man at all times. But He has given us some information. Remember, we are like a student. We are children. We are His children. We are like a child. We are still growing up. It depends on the knowledge of the stage of the person. Remember, the age of a person is different from the understanding of the person. A person might be 200 years old, but his mentality is the mentality of 8 years old. What are you going to do? There are some people who is 10 years old, and their reasoning, oh man, is like the reasoning of a 200 years old. They call those people, in my language, old souls. Their soul is very old, but the soul is in the body. The body is young, but the soul is very old soul. Just like Joseph. That's our paramount example. Jacob is another one. But Jacob and his brother were born the same day, but we always use Joseph the Sadiq, Joseph the righteous as a typical epitome of that example. Because the second last in his time was the youngest among all his brothers, right? His brother was like maybe 30 years old, older than him. But his reasoning is not the reasoning of his brothers. His mind is just exceptional. It's different. So Jacob understood this. He saw that this guy has an old soul. The soul is so old that he comprehends things in a second. While the other, you need to explain the whole world before they can even grab a small thing. So, and they don't like him because of that. The soul is very old. The same idea here. So, don't look at people that, because they are 200 years old, they understand everything. No. Their reasoning might be a reasoning of a baby. So, imparting information, imparting knowledge is giving advice. A word of advice. God is giving us a word of advice this morning. I think I could see a similar idea of some advice being given but taken as an obligation. In this Parasha, in Parashat Noach, we read about the destruction of the world and how Noach and his family were the lone survivors. In Bereishis, Genesis chapter 6, verse 14, the Torah states this: make for yourself an ark of cypress wood. Divide the ark into compartments and plug the inside, pack the inside in and out. If you ask me, is this a command or is this an advice? Sometimes, when we were talking about it yesterday, right, my wife was saying that English is a kind of English language sometimes doesn't make sense, which is true. French language sometimes is more very close to the Hebrew language in the sense that it's very direct. In the sense that my wife would say that there's some word, there's some verb that you're going to use in French language that means a command. You can see that it's a command. And there's some word that you can use that is like an advice. But in English, we don't have that differences. You speak. It's very simple language. In Hebrew language, it's like that too. There's some word that when you read it, it's direct. You say, oh, this is a command. And in the Torah, you can see that, and Noah did according to what? According to the commandment which God has what? Commanded him. Right? But if you look at it from another perspective, it's not like a direct command that God is giving Noah. It's a kind of a word of an advice. This is coming. I'm about to do something on the planet. I suggest you make a boat. bring this in inside, do this and this inside, bring food inside, so you can have something to eat and what? And survive. But Noah can say, oh, I give God the middle finger. No, I don't care. Right? I'm not going to do that. My family is more what? It's more important. I don't want to be alienated from what? From my friends. My friends will mock me because there is nothing like what? They've never had anything like rain. It's stupid. It's foolish. Rain does not exist. So how can I can when I begin to do this, my people will begin to look at me as that I'm cuckoo. I'm not going to tell them that it's rain. And exactly that what happened. You could look at him and say, what? That's a crazy man. Remember, the way of God to men is a crazy thing. They don't understand. It's foolishness. The word of God to men is foolishness. They don't understand it. But that word leads to eternal life. If we can take it and just don't brush it aside, please. Let me just look at it. Let me just see, maybe it makes sense. Right? If you think it doesn't make sense, okay, it's for you. But for me, I think it makes sense. Right? So, let's see. In my humble opinion, the wording or directing of the Holy One to Noah is merely a kind of what is called a recommendation. I recommended you. I strongly suggest. Or I strongly give you a recommendation. If you want to live, do this. There is no direct command that Noah should build an ark. It's not written there, but at the end it says, as God has commanded Noah. I read that, I understand that. But not like they say, okay, you must do this. No, there's no must. If you like, you do this. If you like, you don't do. Like God did to Adam. Don't eat this. It's not good for you. If you like, you eat it. You face the consequence, right? Adonai is offering Noah some very good advice. If you want to live, you should build something that can weather the storm. That's what God is telling him. So to say, Adonai even offer the dimension for you to understand of the structure necessary for what? For survival. Because if you build something that is not good structure, it might what? Not wither the storm. Remember the story. There's one story that my children always watch. It's a cartoon also of the pig, 3 pigs or 4 pigs. That is one and make a head and the womb and the house and they ran away. And that's what I meant. Another one that's what I meant with the dying storm. And the womb. The house and the storm. They were all safe inside the something. Right? But they all built structure, right? 3 of them built different structure. But there is some that cannot withstand the storm. But there is one that stood very firm. So God even gave him a dimension. For you to say this is an imminent is very important. It's a critical advice. I'm telling you, this is happening. It's not a kind of a vision or a kind of a prophecy that will not come. It is imminent, instantly. Do it. It's for yourself. It's good for you, not for God. Is God going to be swept away by the storm or by the river or by the water? God doesn't live here. But He's giving us an advice. For you, it's going to be good. Just do it. So, we all know from childhood, learning that this story end well for Noah. But why did it end well for Noah? If we look ahead to the end of the chapter, Bereishis chapter 6, verse 22, that states, and Noah did everything that God commanded that he did. Is it a command? It's an instruction. God is passing him a knowledge. God is passing him a secret. It's a secret. Something is happening. He has a word. He has an attentive ear. But there are thousands and millions, the wave, the frequency, they don't hear it. Noah was like a radio who can receive the frequency. While the other people, their own frequency is a different frequency. they can never hear it because they are busy in their discotheque. Maybe the music in the discotheque doesn't allow them to hear the frequency. It's a different way, right? Maybe in their place that they are feeling high, with their drugs and with their cocaine, they don't understand. They are in the different planets, right? But Noah was on this planet, listening, waiting for the frequency, for the information, and he got the information. He didn't do exactly what I was told. For me, this is going to be way. It's good. For my children, for my family, this is good, right? So, this is what I'm asking us individually this morning. It's just a word of advice. It's an advice. If you like, you take. If you like, you don't take. It's an advice. But don't brush it away. Check it. Try to see if there's a truth in it or not. Not to that advice, sometime or something that Adonai recommended, but by no means forced Noah to do. God didn't force Noah to do it. God does not force nobody to do nothing. I always tell people, and my people here can bear witness. That is the way we are built. That is the way we've grown up. I will never force anyone to serve God. Never. I can only give advice. You decide either to serve Him or not. Yehoshua said, "As for me and my house, God will be served." But if you like Israel, serve God. You like, don't serve Him. Yeah, but for me and my house, God will be served. The rest of do whatever you want to do, but the consequence, you will surely face the consequence when they come. None of us can escape it. You need to understand that. None of us. But when you do good, you be saved. You see good. If you do the opposite, the same thing, you face the consequence of your action. So Yehoshua is giving that advice too. If you like God, you serve God who brought you out from where? From Egypt. If you like, don't serve Him, but for me and my house, we will follow Him. Alright? So it's an advice too. God does not force no one. No, God is not forcing Noah that you must build it. If you don't build it, you're going to face the consequence. No. God is giving Noah an advice. Noah recognized and prompting of Adonai toward himself and will use it to not only to save his own family, but to create a scene whereby people will ask why he was building this wood vessel in the first place. Noah would tell these people about the impending doom, hoping that people will take Noah seriously and change their ways and be spared. Hopefully, the people of the world would have taken Noah seriously and changed their ways so that they should be spared from for the oncoming doom. Noah took the counsel of God and considered it as a commandment, not just as a good thing or a good news. The Panim Yosef expand on this idea that Adonai said to Noah, "Make for yourself." When the Torah used the word leha, what does it mean? For you. Leha in Hebrew meaning for you. It means for your benefit. He said, God said, make this act for your benefit. It's for your benefit. We said we have the Torah like leha. Leha meaning for you. It's for you. It's for your benefit, not for me, not for God. God is not going to be swept away, as I said, by the storm or by the water. It's for your own benefit. It's for you, for yourself. Adonai said to Noah, if you build the Teivas, which is the ark, it will be for you a benefit. But the decision was totally up to Noah to do it or not to do it. It's an advice. But for you, it's going to be good. And when you are building it, the people will come. You see the teaching of the Holy One. I want us to understand it very, very well. He said, go and build the ark, right? And now begins to build the ark. What happened? People will come and ask what? Questions. Say, what kind of strange object are you building? What is going on here? Right? God is using that as also a teaching to the people. Right? I was like, because I received a vision, or I received a message from God that there's going to be a destruction. What destruction? Oh, rain is going to come and sweep away everybody. So please, it is good for you to stop your evil way, because God is not happy with our work, with our action, what we are doing. It's a kind of preaching. Noah is using that ark to preach to the people, right? Turn around, come back to God, return back home, oh man. Come back to the garden, oh man. Return to the garden of Eden, and everything will be good. Stop being stubborn. Stop being a stiff neck. It is not good for you. Does not benefit you, right? That's a midrash that we have concerning Noah. He built the ark. As he was building it, people come and be doing excretion on the what? In the ark. They make fun of him. A madman. Have you ever seen rain? We don't understand what is rain. Rain will never fall. It's a lie, because God, the Lord God, always water the earth with a dew, right? No. Okay, I see. Noah, I can see. What have you been smoking? Can you tell me that mushroom that you've been smoking, so that me too I can take some? Because I don't understand what you are doing, or I don't understand what you are talking about. But the man understood very well what he's saying, or what he's talking about. Right? They made all kind of escape doom, a lot of them. And one day, I was a leprous man. Israel was going to come and do a scrape in the sheep, the uncompleted sheep. Right? As he was about to step, he tumbled, he fell inside the excrement. As he was struggling, he came out, and all his flesh became whole. He was healed of his leprosy. He went and told the old people, "Oh, that in the sheep, there's a magic in the sheep." All the leprous people in the city went inside the sheep and they cleaned the sheep with their own hand, because they want to be healed. God performs miracles where you think there is no miracles. He is God. He can do anything. He can say, "Noah, this is your ark. Take it and go." But God wants Noah to take part in his own salvation, right? God will not do everything for you. No, you have to do your own part. But the one you cannot do, God will do. Like, for example, as we are talking this morning, all the animals, all the insects, everything that Noah cannot go and take, all the birds, God's okay, come, all the birds, all the animals, come inside, come. He directed them directly to Noah, because Noah cannot do that. The rest that Noah can do, he did. He did everything in his power, that as God has given him the instruction. So, there are times when we want people to take our proposals seriously and to follow it, rather than just discarding it politely. "Oh, okay, I think about it. I'm sorry, I think about it." Whether it be our employees or workers, we want them to follow the suggestion and not merely take it as a simplistic suggestion, such as, "This is the way I would like you to do," or "If I were you," The point is to understand that this is the way it should be done. Raising children is a constant educational process. Sometimes we need to be very direct, and particularly with regard to younger children. Order them to do something directly sometimes. At other times, we offer them a hint, a trace, or signs to enable them to focus and make the right choice without explicit instruction from us. It is not an easy task, but with carefully worded statements, we can lead the child to realize this is something good for him. He or she and I will do it as if my parents were commanding me to do it. It takes strategies to do what? To raise our children. We know as they grow, like my son, they come and ask his mama. They were going to buy something, I don't know, that in the car, the mama was telling me. He said, "Mama, in your time, when you were like me, what is your slang? What slang did you use? How do you text?" The mama said, "In my time, I don't have a mobile phone. We don't text." To him, he doesn't understand. It doesn't make sense. How do you mean that you don't text? How do you mean that you don't do SMS? How do you live? Are you so backward? Which village? Which planet are you guys from? Even though that is even good. If I would show him a cassette, a cassette, you look at it, what kind of thing is this? were you from planet Mars? But they don't understand that. Now everything is, all the music is playing in your ear. You don't even see the music. In our own days, it's cassette, right? You put the cassette, it's bubble like this. You put it in your, you know. So sometimes it's a boom boom bam. You put it like this, and I show that boom 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 boom. You know. Now they look at you as if you're out of your brain. It doesn't make sense to them. How do you live? Now that is now, right? But there are some people in some third world who doesn't even have idea that there's something like internet. To him now, it's even for those who doesn't. Some people have never seen a cassette in their life. They don't even have an idea. At least me, I have an opportunity for cassette, for VHS. You know VHS, right? Everybody knows VHS. The video that we put in a video like this, you know. Now everything is Netflix. No, nothing like that again. I remember in those days, the first time I came here, back in Ontario, we go and line up to borrow VHS, you know, and we still pay, you know. You pay for your VHS, and then sometimes you need to order 2 weeks in advance when the other people finish bringing in. Oh, it's my turn, you know. But you see the way the world has progressed. It's an advice. Children grows up gently, and we, as a parent, have to do what? Know how to advise our children. Don't give them yes or no. As they grow up, try to let them decide by themselves. Sometimes, if you don't allow children to make mistakes, then it doesn't make sense. That's one of my teachers, my professor, when we were having a practical at Jewish hospital. So there's one of my colleagues, he made a mistake, right, in the nursing process, and the nurse in the hospital, he came to my professor, you know, that then my professor, thank you so much, thank you, and please, he's a student, right? Yeah. I said, how is he going to learn if he doesn't make a mistake? The nurse scratched his head and she left. She couldn't answer that question. So, because some of us, we think that we know it all, but put yourself in the position of the student. He's a student, for God's sake. Yes, the mistake is not a deadly mistake. It's a mistake it can easily, instantly be repaired, right? We can make amendment right away. It's better for you to make a mistake now than when you are alone for you to go and make a mistake. That's what my professor said. You can make a mistake now, but I'm here to correct it. But if it doesn't make a mistake, if she doesn't make a mistake, how can she learn? She can't learn. You make mistakes, right? But you have to understand that God Himself is telling us that I want you to take this advice seriously. Not just to brush it away, throw it away, it doesn't concern me, I don't care. Check it out. Look at it. Does it make sense to you? It might not make sense, but try it out. And then come and tell me the result. That's what he's saying. Go and build the ark. It's a work. You know how many, I don't know the beam. How many kilograms are those beams to construct all those things? How many years it took this man? How many mockery? You know, how many laugh? They laugh at him as a laughing stock. But at the end, it pays off. At the end, he and his family were saved. At the end, the Lord God closed the door. Not Noah. The Lord God closed the door. Because Noah, as I said in the morning, might be compassionate to open the door. Say, come in. No, not coming in. Your time is over. But when you have the opportunity, you think it's a what? It's a laughing stock. It's a joke. But to God, it's not a joke. A piece of advice. Just an advice. The rabbi at times give answers that are not concrete as to yes or no, as I said. Rather, on occasion, the rabbi will sound a bit vague in answering a question. The answer is often embedded in the intentional vagueness, which helps the questionnaire to grasp and accept the direction the rabbi was leading him to understand. The trained teacher, people, parent, child, rabbi, congregant, will recognize the sign of when to consider the advice as a mere suggestion and take it or leave it, or truly give the advice to grasp and fulfill a command as Noah did. Noah was able to understand this is not just ordinary advice. This is it's a concrete thing. It's going to come to pass. It's going to happen. And so therefore, I need to take seriously. Or, okay, I think about it. God, I'm a hoopy guy, Let me go to my friend. I'm having a meeting or some party at the lighthouse. The lighthouse where we can take some stick. The stick is waiting for me there with my friend. I'm going to take some beer. And so, when I come back, I will consider your advice, Almighty God. But now I don't have time now. Let me just quickly see my friend. If you want to do it like that, no problem. Everything is left for you. Everything for all man is in your hand. God always gives man advice. If you like, you take. If you like, you don't take. It's your choice. But the consequence is always there. A word of advice. Parashat Noach. Shabbat Shalom.